If you've walked down the aisles of a grocery store recently, or honestly, even just glanced around your own bathroom, you've probably noticed a real shift. Families today are slowing down. We're reading ingredient labels very differently than we did just a few years ago. We're stepping away from that massive rush of mass produced living, and we're looking for just a little more peace of mind in our everyday routines. More parents than ever are beginning to just pause and ask this really simple, deeply grounding question. What exactly are my kids using every single day? And if you've been asking yourself this, you are definitely not alone. It's a huge shared cultural experience right now. We're all realizing together that caring for our families doesn't just mean looking at the big picture. It actually begins with paying much closer attention to the little things, the products we've always just used without a second thought.
Section 1. The Ingredient Awareness Shift. What you put in your mouth matters. This growing desire for transparency, it isn't just a passing trend at all. It's a fundamental shift in how wellness-minded households operate today. We want to know what we're bringing into our homes, right? It all comes down to this modern wellness mindset. This phrase is actually the empowering philosophy behind Sheer Alternatives, which is a brand sitting right at the forefront of the shift. As consumers, we're absolutely moving away from products that require a chemistry degree just to understand, and we're leaning hard into brands that respect our right to know exactly what we are buying.
So, the really crucial takeaway here is that this shift toward transparency is entirely driven by us, the consumers. Parents are taking a step back and evaluating our shopping habits. We're actively moving away from those complex synthetic formulas, and instead, we're actively seeking out clean label products. We want food-grade, completely recognizable ingredients, and more than anything, we want honesty and stewardship from the brands we invite into our actual homes. It's all about feeling empowered and informed, rather than just grabbing whatever happens to be at eye level on the shelf.
Section 2. Why Daily Habits Matter. When we start talking about ingredient awareness, it just naturally leads us straight to the things we do most often. Think about it. Small daily habits often become the products families trust the absolute most. Oral care, for example, isn't just a chore, it's a daily rhythm. It's that moment you stand at the sink with your kids, usually trying to convince a toddler to please just open their mouth for 5 seconds, right before tucking them into bed. Because it is an everyday rhythm, it demands the highest possible level of consumer trust and brand integrity.
2. Think about that number. That is the minimum number of times we do this every single day. When you use a product 365 days a year, every single ingredient compounds over time. Families are really waking up to the fact that these high-frequency, everyday habits are exactly where clean ingredients matter the absolute most.
Section 3. Simplifying the everyday routine.
So how is the market actually responding to parents asking these beautiful, intentional questions? By making things simpler and ultimately safer for the home. We are witnessing a massive contrast in our bathrooms right now. We're leaving behind that old way, cluttered labels full of synthetic agents like SLS and glycerin squeezed out of cheap plastic tubes. Instead, we're really embracing the intentional way. We want simple ingredients, reusable glass jars, complete transparency, and a push toward zero waste. And look, this isn't about fear or shame. It's simply a natural evolution toward cleaner, more thoughtful choices that actually make us feel good about what's sitting on our bathroom counters. Throughout this explainer, what we're really talking about is known as the clean label movement. It's a massive consumer-driven shift prioritizing products with fewer, simpler, and highly recognizable ingredients, all built on a foundation of absolute transparency. So that desire you have for simplicity at the sink? It's part of a much larger, incredibly positive cultural wave. You are the ones driving this change.
Section 4. The Texas Toothpaste Difference.
Let's look at a prime example of a brand rising to meet this totally new standard. Sheer Alternatives believed oral care could feel far more intentional, and their flagship product, the Texas Toothpaste, has a genuinely fascinating approach to this. Their ingredient list is beautifully short, readable, and entirely recognizable. You've got organic coconut oil, organic peppermint oil, and cold-pressed clove oil to naturally clean and soothe your gums. There's baking soda and food-grade hydrogen peroxide to gently lift stains without any harsh bleaching. And birch-derived xylitol, zero artificial foaming agents here, it just cleans powerfully using nature's own toolkit. Their core commitment is incredibly simple. No fluoride, no SLS, no synthetic ingredients whatsoever. But what's really amazing is that this is a completely glycerin-free formula. Now, why does that matter so much? Because without glycerin coating your teeth, beneficial natural minerals can actually reach your enamel, which allows your teeth to actively remineralize on their own. It is just a wonderfully thoughtful formulation. But it's not just what's in it, it's how it's actually made. Sheer Alternatives operates on a strict farm-to-product ethos. In their Texas facilities, they mix organic oils, sift mineral-rich powders under precise agitation, carefully fill reusable glass jars, and conduct rigorous quality control checks. Everything is handcrafted in small batches right in Dallas and Forney, which means you are getting a product made with immense personalized care. It's not just pumped off some massive faceless assembly line. And speaking of those glass jars, let's talk about that packaging for a second. Ditching the classic plastic tube for a beautiful 3.4-ounce glass jar does two great things. First, it instantly elevates the aesthetic of your bathroom. But far more importantly, it literally eliminates microplastics at the sink. It reflects a true zero-waste commitment to environmental stewardship that eco-conscious families are absolutely loving right now. Beyond the jar itself, there is the heartbeat of the company. Supporting the Texas Toothpaste means you're supporting a veteran-owned, family-run business. These are folks rooted in faith, integrity, and totally authentic values. When you buy this, you aren't just funding a giant corporation. You are partnering with a real family that cares just as much about your kids' health as you do. Section 5. The Modern Family Conversation. Let's step back for a moment and look at the bigger picture here. This changes the entire conversation we are having around our everyday purchases. This is really the heart of the matter. Families don't just buy products anymore. They buy trust. As a parent, your careful, intentional consideration of labels is a beautiful form of caring for your family's long-term well-being. It really is an act of love. You are ensuring that what becomes a daily habit is absolutely worthy of your trust. I absolutely love this authentic sentiment from their brand. Don't nobody make toothpaste like Texas. It just perfectly captures the unique, unapologetic pride behind their work. It's bold, it's exceptionally clean, and it's such a refreshing departure from the ordinary stuff we're used to seeing. As we've looked at the shifting landscape of family wellness throughout this explainer, one thing is abundantly clear. We are becoming far more intentional. We are slowing down, asking better questions, and making choices that feel deeply, deeply aligned with our values. Because peace of mind begins with products you can actually understand and trust. The next time you are standing at the sink helping your little ones brush their teeth, take a look at what's in your hand. Keep reading those labels, keep asking those wonderful questions, and keep making the choices that empower your family. Are you ready to make more intentional choices at the sink and explore a clean, transparent option like the Texas Toothpaste?